What's up there, fellas? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing great. It's another day. It's another beautiful day. Welcome to Famous Football. I'm your host, Nate. Let's talk football. Let's get into it. Transfer. What's going on? What's happening? The transfer window is coming to an end. Everybody's trying to, get at what they can get done as quick as possible. Let's get into the latest from Fermin Lopez, Javi Simons, Kobe Mainoo latest interest from Real Madrid, and he wanting out of Man United squad as well. My Guehi to Liverpool is still on. Let's get into it. Oof. Well, Fermin Lopez, right? There's rumor going on about Fermin Lopez to Chelsea. I talked about that yesterday, right? If you didn't get to watch that video, you can go check that out. So the interest of Chelsea in Fermin Lopez is actually legit, right? There have been multiple sources, Ben Jacob, Austin, all of them report that it's been legit. That Chelsea have made inquiries about the player, not necessarily from Barcelona, but they have talked to the player camp about the player, right? And the players apparently is thinking about the move. But now there are also rumors that Barcelona want at least 70 million to allow the player to leave. But Chelsea, the rumor from yesterday says that Chelsea have paid 50 million for Fermin Lopez, right? And I also talk that Maresca actually did get to talk to the player at least twice, and Barcelona. Chelsea told them that they have gotten in contact with the players. Barcelona trying to get in contact with the player to see if he is also keen on the move. But as of now, there is nothing concrete yet as from the player's side to say that he wants the move. Now, we know there were interest from other clubs before in the player. Manchester City was interested, but he said he wanted to stay. So now we don't know if it's the same situation. Now the players are interested in the move, according to multiple reports, because Chelsea offer him the opportunity to play first team football, in the sense be a starter, and that would increase his chance of in the Spanish national team squad as the World Cup is coming up. So, and I think maybe that's what drawing the player towards the move to Chelsea, right? There's also a picture going around of him, in a Chelsea kid when he was young, along with Lionel Messi. Listen, once a blue is always blue. We're just gonna do our best and try to bring the man home, all right? But and then the deal with Javi Simon as well. So a lot of people think this would be the Fermin Lopez deal is an alternative. Now, if you did, like I said, if you didn't watch my video yesterday, you can go check it out. I gave you reason as to why this is not an alternative. Deal to the Javi Simons. Chelsea is still interested in Simons, and they're looking to bring Simons to the bridge. Obviously, they are also working on getting Nkunku out. So now, once that happens, I think that will also be but Nkunku going to Leipzig, that financially seems impossible for Leipzig. So they're trying to find other people. Now we also know Bayern is interested, but we don't know if Bayern will get both Nkunku and Jackson, right? We know there's rumor about Jackson going there as well. Bayern interested in him, and they will want a loan move, and Chelsea is willing to accept the loan move, but with an obligation to buy. But we don't know with the case of Nkunku, so that will have to be permanent due. Is at this stage coming in. We also know Villa is interested in Nkunku as well, and Newcastle is in the mix. So we're looking to see what exactly happened in terms of those deals. And then we have George. I mentioned him yesterday again in yesterday's video that AS Roma is interested in the player. The player is also keen on the move. Now, like I said, I would want him go on a loan, but that's not going to happen. Chelsea won a permanent deal, and AS Roma is also keen on getting the player on the permanent deal. Now they're looking around 25 to 30 million euros. So that will get the deal done. And then Chelsea will also include a heavy sell-on clause. Now what I've seen so far is a 30% sell-on clause. Now, like I said yesterday, that's been the case with Chukwuemeka and Renato Vega as well, and Chelsea is doing that with the youngsters that they let him go. So that's would be a pretty good deal for Chelsea. And then Spurs is trying to enter the race for Xavi Simons. They're trying to hijack this Xavi Simons. Now I'm not really forced about it, and the reason being is that if he can reject Bayern Munich, yeah, I'm not worried that he's gonna go to Spurs. I'm not worried for a second. If he can tell Bayern Munich, I want Chelsea, what about Spurs? So I'm not even forced about it. Like they can try if they want to, but I don't think it's gonna happen. He's waiting for Chelsea, and we're gonna get him at the bridge. Listen, I feel like I've been so emotionally invested in this deal, the Simmons deal, that I would want it done more than the Lopez deal. As much as I think Lopez is also quality, but I've been so emotionally invested in this Simmons deal that I wanted done ASAP. But let's see what happened with that. And Garnacho's situation is pretty much the same. Negotiation is still going on. Both parties, from the player and Chelsea, are confident that the deal can get done. So we'll see what happened with that. We move as well. Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo looked to leave Manchester United. Now he's open to leave. Now I mentioned in previous video that Man United or Amorim, their coach, told him that he has to compete with Bruno for that spot, right? And I told you it would be better for Messi to compete with Bruno than for him, Mainoo, to compete with Bruno, right? So because Messi will offer more balance as compared to him, Mainoo. But apparently he's looking to leave, considering he's not going to have a lot of playing time, and we know Real Madrid's not show interest in the player. Newcastle is also in the mix. Atletico Madrid also in the mix as people that want him. But the player is looking to leave, and he only want to leave to a team that is playing Champions League. So if you're not playing Champions League, you can back off, right? We know Chelsea was interested in him in January, right? But Man United, the price tag they had on him was also ridiculous. I think they had something around 70 million. But right now it's said that they are looking to accept 45 million for him, right? How about, Chelsea, how about we do this, right? Since the deal for Incinso fell through, how about we get Kobe Mainoo, right, to go to Strasbourg, and in the future he can come to Chelsea? How about that? Low 45 million, it won't hurt. We just send him over there, let him do his thing, and then we can bring him over. I know he wants to play Champions League football, but we can also tell you, hey, you will be coming to, the big boys in a couple of years. How about that? So that, I'm just putting it out there. But let's see what happens with this. Kobe Mainoo wants to leave. I know he's a quality player. I would take him at Chelsea, but right now, I don't think there's a space in the current Chelsea squad, considering the people we link with and considering what we're trying to do. Again, I would take him in the future. Like I said, I think in the future we're gonna get rid of people, right, that actually performing. I know people will start coming for people like the like of Enzo Fernandez. So if we get good money for him, I think Chelsea will let him go. So if we have somebody like him around the club, it could be helpful. But I'm not trying to be greedy here. If he's going to go to Real Madrid, Newcastle, it will be a brilliant move for him, right? Personally, I think it will be a brilliant move for him. But I'm just saying, how about we saying out to Strasbourg and spend a year there, and then we can see what to do with him, right? But we move, and then Bruno Fernandes looking to stay at Man United, at least for this season. So in 2026, then he might look to leave, right? There's report on that. But, except Saudi club can come in and try to, triple his salary or quadruple his salary that he's currently on, then maybe that may be tempting enough for the player to leave. But as now, the Man United captain is looking to stay. And he wants to stay. He wants Man United. He wants to stay. He wants to continue with United. And I think, good for him. But he also would be open to the move in the future to the MLS, to Saudi, to other European league as well. So let's see what happens with Bruno. And then we have Guehi to Liverpool. That deal is still on. Now I talk about that. Obviously it's been in the news for a little while, but it went quiet as of recently because they weren't coming to an agreement between Liverpool and Crystal Palace. But now it might be feasible because like I said, the player is on his last year. So now Crystal Palace is trying to get as much as they can possibly get for him, right? So they want, I don't know, something around 50 million, and Liverpool is willing to pay 35 million, right, for the player, which I think is good considering he's on his last year of his contract. So now Crystal Palace benefit a little bit and from the player, because otherwise the player is not going to sign a new deal and he might leave on a free, and that would be, I don't know, the worst thing you can possibly do. In terms of the quality of player that he is, at least you want to get something for him. So at least they're taking the 30 to 35 million. That would be good for them and also be good for Liverpool as well. We're seeing them defensively, they're not looking, the best. So maybe he can add something to the current Liverpool squad and see how that goes for him. But and then lastly, Guehi, not Guehi, but Guehi. The first one was Guehi. Jesus Christ. The first one was Guehi, and now this Guehi. Guehi from Chelsea that went to Sunderland, right? Scored his first goal yesterday for Sunderland to equalize in the 89th minute. What a header, right? By the way, we know there's quality there, and I think him being at Sunderland it's gonna be good. There's quality of player around him. He has Xhaka that's there, right, as well. So there's quality of player around him. We're helping. Let's see what he can do, and maybe he can get himself into the Chelsea squad again next year if he can perform. But we also know there are other competition for him, coming from other places as well. But speaking about Chelsea Lone showing up, what about what's his name? Kendrick Pius, right? He's played a few games for Strasbourg now. He is looking good. I saw Kukurela comment that said, keep it up, and you will see yourself in the Chelsea squad next season." That's it. He's a quality player. He can play, on the right side. He can also play in the middle, and I think Chelsea's getting a lot of those. So I'm excited to see him in the future at Chelsea, right? We all wanted him at Chelsea, even to see him play for Chelsea during the Club World Cup, but we didn't get to see that. I'm gonna be following Strasbourg to see what he do, and other Chelsea players that are there as well. We know size there, so we're gonna see what really happened with him and other Chelsea players. But hey, let me know your thoughts down below about everything we discussed, from Fermin Lopez to Chelsea, George going to AS Roma, Axel Disasi, I didn't mention him, but he having interest also from other clubs as well. So that watch out for that. But Spurs trying to hijack the Xavi Simons deal. Do you think that that's even possible? I don't think so. But Kobe Mainoo is open to leaving Man United. What do you think he's gonna end up? Newcastle, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, or Chelsea? I don't know. You let me know your thoughts down below. And then my Guehi, do you think the move to Liverpool will happen before the end of the transfer window? Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I need it. Thank you very much. See you later. Cheers.